Welcome to episode 63 of Fit Strong Women Over 50. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jill. Welcome to the Becoming Elly community, where we focus on being fit and strong.
Yes, when Jill and I both hit our 50s, we lost weight, became fit, and discovered that running and lifting weights can be a lot of fun. You might be wondering who Elly is, and she's the Norse goddess of old age. She became famous, or somewhat famous,
famous for us, at least.
When she was invited or challenged to a wrestling match with Thor. Everyone's heard of Thor.
Yes.
And much to his surprise and chagrin, she won. So we're inspired by Elly, and we want to be like her, surprisingly strong as we age.
Yes, we want to be the underdog that no one is expecting to win.
And speaking about dogs, I think you have a new member of your family.
I have a little puppy.
Oh.
So she came last week, and she is just a baby. She's 9 weeks old now, and her name is Penny. You know, it's like having a baby in the house. It's a challenge. This morning, so she's learning to sort of hang out in her crate at times. So this morning I was able to go out for a run, but I did it as, won't say I did it as quickly as I could, because that would suggest that I was running quickly, and I wasn't. But I didn't meander back as slowly as I might often. So
yeah, you were very conscious. Someone was waiting for you.
Yes. And she did well, though. When I got back, she was just sort of sleeping and not carrying on. So that was good.
She's adorable. She's so cute.
We'll put a picture in the show notes, I guess, so that people can see her. She is a cute little thing.
She is two parts combined, and I forget.
Yeah, she is an Irish setter and poodle.
Aww.
And the poodle is like a miniature poodle, so not a full-size poodle. And not a toy, that whatever the poodle is that's in between, the medium poodle.
Size.
So I don't expect her to be a gigantic dog, but I mean, she'll probably be about 45 pounds, I would guess.
Oh, that's great.
Something like that, but we'll see.
Well, that little curly coat, she looks like a stuffed animal to me that came to life.
Yes, so she is very cute, and I'm hoping that when she gets older that she will be a good hiking and maybe running companion.
Yes.
At least a good walking. I really do miss having a dog that makes me get out and walk consistently and to have a companion while walking.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's great.
We just have to live through the baby months.
Yeah. Lots of chew toys, right?
Yes, exactly.
Well, speaking of walking, I have had renewed efforts on my Fitbit challenges. I've decided I'm really going to try to get those 10,000 steps every day. And during the beginning of the coronavirus, when the weather was so horrible, I just kind of lost my oomph when it came to that. But in the last few weeks, I've been doing some caregiving for relatives, and when I have a break, I'm finding that it's real easy for me to go ahead and get away because I have this goal of trying to get my steps. I don't know. I'm feeling more encouraged about that, even trying to get a little bit of strength training without my weights available.
Oh, what are you doing for that?
Well, more body weight, the traditional push-ups, squats, that kind of thing. It's not lifting because I don't have any weights with me, but
right.
A little bit of planking. I don't know if planking counts as strength training, but
oh yeah, I mean that's such a core workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean probably all body, but yeah, no, that would be strength training.
Yep.
Resistance training.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do those slow mountain climbers. One of my favorite coaches at my gym calls them real mountain climbers. But what it is you put your two hands down like you're doing a plank, and you have your feet behind you. And then you move one of your feet up to where your hands are. So it's a big stretch for your hips, a great hip opener. It's slow. which I kind of like because I'm just not a fast person, I guess. I don't know, but it sure does feel good. It's like one of those runner stretches. It just feels so good getting that on both sides. And so I'm doing some mountain climbers that way too. Not huge workouts, but
I was just thinking about that. If a person did planks, some push-ups, squats, and lunges, maybe some side lunges in there too.
Yeah, lunges. That's a good one.
You would probably have a pretty good workout there.
Right.
So the push-ups would do your chest and arms.
Yeah.
And everything else. I mean, it all hits your rest of your total body.
Yep. And then I do a little bit of yoga because it just feels good after all of that. Kind of the sun salutations, I guess you call it. You go through the routine.
Yeah.
So I haven't been doing huge workouts, but I did notice in our private Facebook group, we have quite a community going on online. And one of our members was actually windsurfing, which I haven't done in, probably 20, 30 years. But that's a heck of a workout.
I've never done windsurfing, but, and I see people now doing paddle boards.
Yes.
Where you that has to be more of a workout than...
Right. It's a great core workout because you're balancing on your feet and there's a lot of tippiness depending on what your board is like.
So like trying to do something on a Bosu ball.
Right. It's like standing on a Bosu ball, but you're not going to fall and break your arm on the gym floor.
Right. Because you're on water.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Because you're on water. And then if you fall in the water, because I did that the other day, you fall in the water and trying to get back on the board, man, that's a workout.
So you were doing paddleboarding?
Well, I did one, but that's not enough to talk about because it was, but to see one of our members actually doing windsurfing because you're forward and back. So you talk about push-ups. It's like push-ups with your back and shoulders, but core with your feet trying to, hold on and keep the board from tipping. It's kind of a combination. It's a lot of right brain, left brain, back and forth, back and forth.
Okay.
My extent of workouts are more like a hike, a walk, a bike. That's, that's really my kind of workout these days. How about you? Well, you said you went running this morning.
I went running this morning. So I've been trying to do my running. It just seems like there's always something. This week with having a puppy in the house, I have to say I haven't done a whole lot. I am really missing my strength training.
Right.
And I find myself really thinking, I keep hearing about how nobody's at my gym.
It's so tempting, right?
It is. I keep thinking, well, nobody's there. And I keep hearing about how they're cleaning everything repeatedly all day long.
That's my gym too.
Maybe I should go.
Do they have outside exercise classes at your gym?
I don't think so, but I know yours does.
Yeah, mine does. Well, I remember you did that Ultimate Fitness Challenge, and it was all outside where you were flipping the tire and doing all those things. Yeah,
and they do have a tire outside, so I guess I could go flip the tire.
Well, that's a heck of a workout.
Which is a good workout. If you can flip a tire, that is a good workout.
Yeah, we're not talking, a little car tire. I've seen that tire that Jill flipped. And anybody that wants to see it, go to the Becoming Elly About Us page, and you'll see Jill flipping a big tractor trailer tire. I don't know if it's a cat. It's huge. It's a huge tire.
There are bigger tires, which I suspect I could not flip, but it is a good sized tire.
Yeah.
I've been sort of doing some running, and so I'm still doing my indoor biking, though I keep thinking it's beautiful out. I should get the bike out and go outdoor biking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also found a new yoga studio in the area that is having like 3 classes a week.
Outside, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So, but I think what it's coming down to is I am really missing organized exercise.
Right. Group activity.
Yeah.
I know
yoga class, strength training, I miss my boot camp.
Right. Well, I've even seen some of the members in our community asking, why don't we do another Zoom? And, it'd be really fun to do, I don't know, not a super duper workout in front of the Zoom because, it's hard to talk and breathe at the same time for me. And I really need the talking, the face-to-face talking and seeing people. I miss the people. I miss people. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
trying to stay strong through all the corona restrictions. And we've had more of a tightening here in the last week or so with our area. And I'm sure it comes and goes depending on where you live and what the situation is. But it's a real challenge to stay fit and strong mentally as well as physically. There's
a lot of anxiety over everything right now, and it's just hard to not succumb to that, I think. And it's easy also because our gyms I'm not going to the gym, and I'm not running with people, and it's just easy to sort of start descending into, well, maybe I'll just watch TV tonight.
Right.
And eat some more. So it all sort of plays together. And you're right. Mentally, staying fit and strong is just as challenging as trying to stay fit and strong physically.
Yeah. We heard from someone who's a listener and reads our blog posts and all. Her name's Elsie Weiskopf. And she was kind enough. Well, she said, I hope you're doing well and staying healthy. I came across your post on the path to fitness and love that you highlight the importance of mental fitness, something that many people forget to focus on. And since you shared your mantra for the day, and I forget which one that was because I have different ones, different days, but she said, I thought you'd enjoy a post that I helped to create on positive affirmations for women. And it's a printable affirmation and journal prompts. So I'm going to put the link on our show notes. And so if any of you feel like you want to have a list of affirmations and positive thoughts, visit the show notes and download and see if any of these speak to you, because staying fit and strong mentally is just as important as physically. Let's face it.
Well, that's true.
Some days it's harder,
Some days it is harder, and some days does make you remember how intertwined those things are. The mind-body connection it is connected because
absolutely.
If you start feeling depressed or sad or lonely, getting out and doing something
anxious
really does help.
Yeah.
And vice versa. If you're feeling pretty positive about things, right, then it makes it easier to get out and do things. So sometimes it's just, you've got to get them both going.
Yeah, I think we both learned that when we were doing the half marathon training, that, you're stronger than you think you are, and you have to keep thinking positively.
Oh, yeah.
It can be hard.
The other thing about you saying about things getting sort of locked back down or whatever around here is the masks. I have a friend and I've used this mask, who uses a Respro Sportza mask. It's
Respro Sportza.
Respro is Respro, and then Sportza is there. So one is the the company Respro, and then Sportza is one of their models of masks. So he bought it before all of this happened because he deals with asthma. And the nice thing about these masks is they have a filter on them, and they have valves so that they're easy to breathe through. And he wears them running and bicycling because they block pollen and particulates from the air.
Oh, what a good idea.
Yeah. So they're a little easier to breathe through because it has the valve in it. So you're not just breathing through cloth. Mm-hmm. And the filter in it actually filters out particulates.
Okay.
Now, whether it would filter out viruses, I don't know, because viruses can be very small.
Right.
But it does filter out at least some things. And so I can't speak to exactly what it filters.
Well, I would say pollen's pretty small as well.
Right. It does help a lot with that. And they're easy to put on, and often they're washable. And I really like it. I was wearing one, and I went into a drugstore, and the young man working in there said, "Oh, I like your mask." He said, "You look so cyberpunk."
And you said, "That's the look I'm going for."
I said, "Oh, thank you." And he said, "Do you know what cyberpunk is?" I said, "Yes, I do."
Well, it is a pretty cool mask. And the first time I think I saw one, I was in a race, a duathlon, and I saw someone wearing it I think for the asthma and pollen and all of that. And it looked unusual, but now everybody and their friend has a mask on of some sort. Some people wear gaiters. Some people wear the kind that go over your ears, and there's all different types. And, it got me thinking, gee, maybe we should come up with a becoming Elly mask.
Yes. Well, now that we're sort of wearing masks frequently, you need more than one.
Oh, that's for sure.
So, yes, you got us both a becoming Elly mask, which I really like.
Yeah, it's bright white, so it looks clean. I don't know, that I like that part of it.
Yes.
Of course, I immediately got smudges on mine and I had to wash it again, but it's completely washable and has a front and a back lining to it with a little pocket that you can put a coffee filter in there, or more cloth if you prefer, or nothing at all, depending on what level of blockage you want from the outside area. What did you think of it, Jill?
I liked it. So you sort of have to make sure you open it enough so you can see the logo, but it has the Becoming Elly logo on it, which I like.
Yeah, because it says fit and strong along there. I like that part.
So that's cool. And that might be a good one to wear when I'm out doing my run or whatever. I really like it. You're right. I like the color. And the material is nice, and I like being able to put the filter in there if I want to.
Yeah. The one thing I was surprised it didn't have is a little piece of wire across the nose, because I do like to fit it to my nose, and have that little arch or what have you. But I think I can get a bread twisty wire and slip it in along the top to fit to my nose. Anyway, I'll put a link in the show notes about it if anyone wants one.
Yes, and it is significantly less expensive than the Respro Sports mask.
I'm sure that one is rather pricey. So, but that's cool. And so, listeners, if you have any mask suggestions and things, we'd love to hear from you too. If just leave it in the show notes below, or send us an email, or the voicemail is 330-970-6662. You can leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you about that.
Or send us a photo of you wearing your favorite mask.
Great idea.
Yeah. So I did see a fashion show on TV.
Really?
Or like in the morning news thing, they were doing like bathing suits or whatever for the summer. And they are now including coordinating masks in your outfit.
Yeah. Well, a coordinated mask does look cute with your outfit. That I have noticed that people will do that. I even saw the Queen of England with a mask that matched her hat and her dress and everything. And it actually looked really good.
This is really off topic, but the mention of the Queen made me think of this. Did you see the news article about the man in England who turned 100 and to raise money for their health system, he walked like 100 miles. Well, I don't know whether it was kilometers or miles. It would make more sense if it were kilometers. But because of their restrictions, he did it in his garden.
Oh my God. Oh, I did see that. And he was knighted?
Yes. And so that was what made me think of, is that the Queen came out and knighted him. So I'm thinking 99 years old when he started this, and he was able to do this fundraising thing online.
Amazing.
He started out, he wanted to make 200 pounds or something, and he's ended up making, I don't know, 20,000 pounds.
Wow. A
lot of money to go to their health system to help fund prevent like masks and gear and things for
what
the
a great
medical.
Idea.
Yeah. He turned 100 in all this. So that was.
Wow. We should send him a becoming Elly mask. He's not becoming, he is.
Yes, I would say. So back to the positive, the mental health thing is when you could see people doing those kinds of things, it's easy to think I need to be less mopey about my life and a little more proactive or a little more upbeat, because I'll tell you what, if someone is 99 years old and walking 100 miles in their garden.
Yeah, what's my excuse, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. Well, I'm going to remember that when I'm on my walk again this afternoon. And even though it's going to be hot, I'm going to wait till the heat goes away a little bit before I really do a long walk. But I'm noticing that in this hot summer heat here in Ohio, it's pretty humid, that I am really loving a new treat that perhaps some of our listeners would like as well. And that is cottage cheese with frozen berries in it. Now, I know some people don't do dairy, but I still do. And to me, when I put the frozen berries in it and I stir it all up, it gets really cold, almost like ice cream, because it's got that creamy and cold feeling. So I get the same satisfaction as ice cream, which to me is pretty darn amazing because, I've been trying to avoid, I think I brought up ice cream last time we talked too. But, cottage cheese with frozen berries, that's my latest go-to, especially when I'm super hot and I get something super cold in my stomach. It just feels and tastes so good.
Yes, I agree with that. I guess if you didn't have the cottage cheese, you could use plain yogurt.
Right.
Like
right.
A Greek yogurt or something.
Yeah.
But the frozen berries would be key. That sounds great.
Well, it's funny that you said that because I did buy some, I think it's called FAGE. I'm not sure how.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try some of that yogurt. I don't usually get that kind, and I wanted to see how it tasted with those berries because, I'm just always trying new things and trying to figure out what would be good.
So you remember our episode a few episodes ago where we talked about the big ass salad?
Oh, with Pam Sherman. I sure do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pam, yes. So I think about that episode a lot, but I've been eating a lot of salad.
Uh-huh.
The thing she said about her salad was she puts some cheese on there and nuts.
Yeah.
And fruit. So I've been buying berries or whatever to put on my salad.
Yeah.
And she also talked about using cabbage to add some crunch. So, which is great. If I have cabbage, I'll chop some up and put it on my salad. But what I have come up with is you can go into the grocery store and buy bags of veggie slaw. So there's broccoli slaw and I've seen power veggies mix, and they're all chopped up, just no dressing or anything. It's just like chopped up veggies in a plastic bag that I've been buying, and then I don't make slaw with it. I've just been sprinkling it right on top of my salad. Gives you lots of additional vegetables.
Yeah.
A bigger range of vegetables with lots of crunch. And it's so easy because it's already cut and everything. In fact, my son was here the other day and I made him a salad and he said, "Did you cut all these vegetables into these little matchstick things?"
Yes, of course.
Yes, I did such a nice job too.
That's fun. Well, it's funny that you would say that because I tried to add cabbage to my no panic potluck. You know how I always make that same salad that I love so much. But I was trying to switch it up, and I actually cut the cabbage into like cabbage steaks, if you could imagine that, and roasted them. Because I thought, maybe that'll be good in the salad. But there was something about roasted cabbage did not taste good with the vinegar dressing, the oil vinegar and lemon that I usually put. It didn't match. And I'm not quite sure why. It might be that cabbage, when you roast it, has some sugars or something. I don't know.
It becomes sweet.
Yeah.
Cabbage, when you roast it, does get sweeter.
Yeah, it didn't match. So I would say don't bother roasting the cabbage. I would have been better off doing what I usually do, and that is just chop some up and put it in there because that matches. And I know that matches. I've done that lots of times. But
well, so if you don't want to chop the cabbage, just go to the store and buy a bag of veggie slaw.
Yeah, and I think that's the best bet there, Jill.
It's not as cheap as buying a head of cabbage, I will say that. But because cabbage is not very expensive. But there's a lot to be said for just having this bag of chopped up vegetables. And there's probably about at least usually 3, 4, or 5 different kinds of vegetables in the bag. Yeah. Yeah. So that gives you more bulk to your veggies and, more fiber, all those good things. Things. So, and since it's summer, it is nice to have, I've been enjoying my salads. Let's just say that. Yeah. Yeah. What do you use for dressing on your salads? I'm just curious. Usually I just put some apple cider vinegar and olive oil on my salad. But so here's a little recipe that I came up with. I've been making, so like saying to put the cheese on there. Well, I made myself blue cheese dressing. Oh. And here's how easy it is. I do equal parts of like a mayonnaise and sour cream, maybe a little lemon juice, and then blue cheese crumbles, and stir it all up. And it's fantastic.
Bingo, bango. That's great.
Yeah. So if you're looking for something a little creamy, and I like blue cheese dressing, so
yeah,
it's like so easy, and it doesn't have any junk in it.
Yep.
That, like whatever you
additives.
Get from, yes. No additives. I just made it myself. And I suppose if you were trying to reduce calories, you could go with like a non-fat sour cream or something and whatever. But I just use regular of everything. Because I don't put that much sour blue cheese dressing on my salad.
Right. A little bit goes a long way, but that does add a nice zest to everything.
Yes. But most of the time I use the vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and olive oil. And sometimes, depending on what's in my salad, I might use balsamic vinegar.
Yeah.
Instead of the apple cider.
Yeah. That sounds great.
How about you?
Oh, I usually stick with the same 3. Lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, and extra virgin olive oil. Those 3 mixed together. And then I add salt, pepper, oregano, dill. That's my favorite mixture of all the seasonings and stuff. And I've tried different ones. I always have a lot of basil sitting in the cabinet, but then when I sniff it, that's not the right taste. Last week, I made a whole bunch of couscous, and I added a little bit of couscous into my salad just to have a little something. I wanted to have quinoa, but I used all the quinoa that we already had. And so I have it on my list for the next time, the big grocery shop, the monthly shop these days. Yeah.
Yes, right. Trying to not do the, I need quinoa. Let's just run to the store.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. It's funny. I have changed my habits, and it feels more normal. They say the new normal. It is not normal yet, but I have changed my habits for sure. Yeah. And it doesn't feel awkward anymore like it did.
Yeah, I guess it is the new normal. You just adapt and keep doing what we're doing, I suppose.
Well, we've had some great weather as far as the sun, and a little maybe too hot. And a few times we've had some big rains, but really lots of opportunities to be outside and enjoy the weather. And you can see people from a distance a little more easily without feeling like you're encroaching on strangers' territory,
Yes.
And have little conversations from afar, which is great.
Having the nicer weather really does make it easier.
Yeah.
It was good talking with you, Chris, and I would love to hear what our listeners have. If they have any good food treats they'd like to share, a good recipe. We already mentioned about sending a picture of yourself wearing a mask or letting us know about masks.
Yeah, and if you have any ways of getting that strength training workout in without any equipment, all for hearing about that as well.
And if you're doing something exciting like the windsurfing, let us know about that too, because we want to marvel at how amazingly strong women are as we go through all of this.
That's right. So again, our website is Becoming Elly. That's becoming ELLI.com. Be sure to go over there and visit and take a look at all the different articles. And, you'll find the podcast there as well. If you wanted to share it with a friend, that'd be great. And until next time, we look forward to hearing from you.
Yep. See you then.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.